Hello, Fiend and Fiendettes, it's Uberdemon, and this is the 20th milestone episode of Uberdemon's Movie Morgue. And you just saw the mortician in my new intro. And I want to thank all those of you that have been patiently waiting for this new installment of Uberdemons Movie Morgue. I know I've been talking about it for a while, and I posted that intro a few weeks ago, kind of to stir up some hype for this major milestone episode. I've been doing this for two or 3 years now, and I do it because I enjoy it, and I'm lucky that and happy that many of you out there continue to watch my videos and are enjoying them. And again, thank you. This is to all the fans. I wouldn't put such hard work into these episodes if it wasn't for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into things here. And I'm going to start by, I know it's getting kind of late, and I know most summer camps are probably closing their doors at this point. But a couple weeks ago, it seemed like everyone was talking about summer camp, taking their kids to summer camp, picking their kids up from summer camp. So I figured I'd kick off this milestone 20th issue by talking about having a bloody summer camp and what movies to watch. First, we have the Sleepaway Camp box set. There's actually a fourth movie that I don't have that got released a couple years back. But originally it was supposed to be a 4-film series anyway. The original fourth film got scrapped in the middle of production and never came to be. There's a bonus disc in this box set that features the promotional footage from that particular film that they were trying to make. This has the first 3 Sleepaway Camp movies, the first classic film, which I really enjoyed. Upon getting this box set, this was my first time watching these films, despite seeing their video cassette covers in video stores as a young boy for many, many years. And overall, the trilogy is pretty good. It seems like parts 2 and 3 were shot in short succession. And surprisingly enough, I believe the slasher, the female slasher in the parts 2 and 3 is Bruce Springsteen's sister, which I thought that was kind of crazy. Again, great trilogy. I need to pick up the official fourth film and watch it and see how it stacks up to these first three films. But definitely worth your time and money. I got this for I think $20 at Half Price Books, and that's a great buy. Definitely recommend checking this out. Most people think of Friday the 13th when it comes to camp slashers. However, that kind of folklore goes back even farther to a legend called Cropsey. And Cropsey is probably one of the first known camp slashers, camp ghost stories that's been around for generations. And there's actually a movie made about that around the time that the slashers were becoming popular called The Burning, which Tom Savini was heavily involved in. You can see I had him sign this copy for me at one of the Horror Hound conventions. And this focuses around Cropsey. This is the original camp slasher folklore, Cropsey. And this is a great movie. Of course, Tom Savini special effects, and he did a lot of the stunts also. Great movie, great gore effects. Definitely worth your time and money. One of the surprising little-known slashers from the 80s. Definitely worth checking out. And I really enjoyed this film. And I've already mentioned it, but I couldn't complete this bloody camp segment of Uberdemon's Movie Morgue without mentioning the Friday the 13th series. This was the box set that was released probably 3 or 4 years ago now. And I remember when it was first coming out, it was nuts. The biggest gripe that people have about this box set is that it's not complete unedited versions. the special features contain the extra gore and the unedited segments, but I kind of agree with this. It would be cool to kind of see it spliced in between, or if they would have restored and spliced it into the actual films and had true unrated cuts. And John Carl Bleecker, who directed Part 7, he's an amazing special effects man, very funny guy, and it sounds like he had a battle, because there's a really great bonus disc that has a documentaries on the various Friday movies, and it seemed like he had a really hard time getting some of this stuff approved, and stuff that would have been really, really cool had it been in the movie. But again, Part 7 turned out great just because John Carl Bleecker is an amazing person, an amazing special effects person, and a great director, in my opinion. And coincidentally enough, the most popular Jason, Kane Hodder, was a friend of John Carl Bleecker, and has worked with him on several other movies, including Hatchet and Ghoulies 3 in varying degree. Most of it's just like quick things, like Kane Hodder did a stunt here or there. But the Part 7 was the first Jason movie that featured Kane Hodder as Jason, and it's all because that he and John Carl Bleecker worked together. And again, great series. Of course, that's the first 8 films. And you got Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell, which takes things in a different direction. And even more of a different direction, Jason X, or as I like to call it, Jason in Space! Okay, that sucked. And, of course, Freddy vs. Jason. But what's worse than Friday the 13th? Saturday the 14th. And there's actually 2 of these movies. They're actually very rare and hard to find. I have not seen another copy of this first one anywhere. I happen to find it used at a great little DVD shop that is unfortunately now closed, called Laser's Edge. Rest in peace, Laser's Edge. I miss you. I wish you were still around, because it was a great place, brick and mortar store, to go get crazy movies and not have to wait for shipping. And if you were so inclined, they could order you stuff, even box sets from other countries. But enough of that. I've got a lot to cover still in this particular episode of Uberdemon's Movie Morgue, and I think I'm going to start by jumping into horror titles on the NES, which I'm going to kind of start in and then come back to this topic, and you'll see why here in a minute. But I'm going to start off with Fester's Quest by Sunsoft. This is one of the first horror Nintendo games that people really remember on the NES, especially if you were a very young kid when these games were coming out, like I was. Again, this is like one of the first horror titles I actually remember seeing for the NES. And another cool horror title is from Data East. It's called Werewolf the Last Warrior, where you play a werewolf with sword hands. Game, from what I understand, is pretty hard. I really haven't played that much of it. But Lord Cat, the guy that does the Until We Win videos, who is an amazing gamer, he played through the whole game and gave pointers on how to beat it. Monster Party. It's another great, well, I'm not going to say great. I haven't really gotten that far in it. It's very hard. What's really cool about it is the box and label art. That's probably the coolest part about this game. The game's cool itself, but it's not what you really think by just looking at the cover. It's like the first thing you fight is a man-eating plant. Because you go into these, it's a platform game, you walk through, you enter doors, and as you enter doors, there's either nothing there or a monster, and you have to fight the monster. And the first monster you fight is actually a man-eating plant, and it doesn't look that cool. May I just need to play it more and get further into it, but again, it's an early NES title, so I'm going to be somewhat lenient